Here's looking at you, kid. The both of us.
The both of us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mustache and The Beard.com. Two Grey Geeks, changing the world one post at a time.
That be us.
We are in August Murders. So.
Yes. And in character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot my hat. I forgot my hat.
Frenchie, where are you? I don't see you.
I forgot my hat.
All right.
Forgive me, mon ami.
My name is Louis Matos. I'm the Mustache. For this month of August Murders, I am Sledgehammer, Private Dick.
Private Dick.
The noir detective that stumbles around and is poor. And joining me today is my buddy.
Hey! Junior Figueroa here, a.k.a. The Beard. For this month, August Murders, je suis Inspector Jean-Claude Perdu of the Sûreté. And I am the friend of the renowned Private Dick Sledgehammer.
Dick?
The Private Dick.
It sounds nastier when you say it that way.
But mon ami, you are a Private Dick.
Okay. All right. And so this is Get Out of Jail Free number 3.
As always, get out of jail is the things that we do so as not to do the things that we're supposed to do.
Yeah. So, basically reading books, comic books, watching TV shows, movies.
Yeah. Whatever we do so as not to, do unimportant stuff like the laundry,
yeah,
cleaning the house, cooking,
showering.
What's showering? It's been so long. Speaking of showering, that's the thing that I miss the most when we lose power.
Oh,
God.
Well, not the losing power; it's when we lose water. That's the problem.
Yeah, but it usually goes one with the other because of the pumps. You need the electric pumps in order to get the water.
All right, so let's get started because we need our full half an hour for our 3 little things that we did. So
basically, because we're so long-winded.
Yeah. So you get started.
Me again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bearded one. I could go first if you want me to. It's just
Okay. The first thing on my list. Okay. I watched a movie called The Kennel Murder Case. Philo Vance. Now, Philo Vance, in his day, was a very well-known detective. He was up there with Sherlock Holmes and Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple and all that. Not so much now, but there were a whole. He's a literary character. There are a slew of mystery novels involving Philo Vance. His main claim to fame was he was the first of the detectives to use psychology. His thing was to use psychology to catch the murderer.
So he was a psycho.
Pretty much. There was a series of movies with him starting in the early 1930s. So some of these early Philo Vance movies, they were still working out the whole talkie thing, So the sound is not up to par, and sometimes the music doesn't. You know how now you have music in practically every scene.
Yeah, there's
right?
no quiet. There's
Right.
almost no quiet.
If the hero is walking up the stairs, there's music accompanying him up the stairs. In some of these early movies, there's silence. He's walking.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. But this one, the Kennel Murder Case, was later. It was late 30s, and it's not grainy, and this one that I saw Matter of fact, it was colorized. So I saw it on YouTube, so you could check it out. Kennel Murder Case, starring William Powell. William Powell was an extremely popular actor in his day. The Thin Man, right? My Man Godfrey, extremely popular, and he's good at Philo Vance. The thing that I liked about this movie the most was that it is both a whodunit and a howdunit, because it is a locked room murder. The victim is found in a locked room. So how was he murdered, as well as who murdered him? And I really like the way that Philo Vance figures out. First, he figures out the how, and then of course for the climax we get the who. But he has the two supporting characters. There's the district attorney, the one who actually brings him into the case, and then there's the detective sergeant, right, who is the bumbler, right? And so these are the two characters that Vance has to explain everything to, and explain to them. He's answering our questions. So he works out the how, and he is so precise and so exact and so simple in explaining to them how you get it. You're sitting there, you're like, holy mackerel, it works. You know, it was so, there was no ambiguity, no nothing. That you appreciated that. You're like, damn, I like that. So that was, I think, what for me raised this movie a notch above this type of movie. So if you get a chance, like I said, it's free on YouTube. Kennel Murder Case, William Powell. Check it out. If you like whodunits, this is right up your alley. And if you like dogs, Kennel Murder Case. You know, it is right up your alley also. That's the first thing.
Okay, how many? What would be your rating on that?
I'd give it 4.
4 out of 5 Grey Geeks. 4
out of 5. I would give it 4. Believe me, I would not do that for others in this series.
Oh.
In the Green Murder Case, I would not give it 4. But this one, like I said, was towards the end. It's slicker.
It's special.
It's special.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, this may have been the last one William Powell did. I really don't know. But what drives you bananas in the earlier ones is missing from, and it was colorized. You know, so I'm giving it like half a Grey Geek just for it being colorized.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's good. That's a good high recommendation. All right. Well, for my first.
Yeah. What's your first?
My first is the Tea Shop Cozy Mysteries, books 1 through 6. This is an ebook, a box set from Catherine Hayton is the author. She is she's a British writer, and
damn clever, those Brits.
Yeah, you know. So it's a tea shop. So it's murder mysteries, but from you get the armchair detective kind of thing as you do. Willow Foxglove is a 50-something widow. She loves to garden, and she makes her own concoctions from her garden of teas. So she decides to open up her own tea shop. And she's also a little bit nosy.
A little bit. She's a lot like Miss Marple.
Yeah, and a little bit like the Murder, She Wrote, Jessica Fletcher. All right, so except that she's not a writer. However, she's a huge fan of this British show called Miss Walsham Investigates. So constantly she's like, what would Miss Walsham do? You know, and so you get that whole kind of mystique. I'm going to say right away, this is not what most men would ordinarily like. Not to say that that women like the armchair detective of a tea shop owner and their cozies. And cozies are really short mysteries, usually below 100 pages. So, so you get...
reading.
Yeah, so this is six stories. 6 books that are 575 pages in total. So each one is like 90 pages, give or take. The first one is called Pushing Up Daisies, and so she makes like this daisy tea. Berry Murderous, that's all. The number 3 is Deathbed of Roses. Number 4 is Orange Juiced. Number 5 is Keeping Mums. And lastly is Hibiscus Homicide. I really enjoyed it, despite, because even though I'm a dude and I really generally like the whole noir thing, this is light reading. She has 2 best friends. Harmony is a book reader, so she's got book smarts. So she helps her. She's a library. She goes to the library like every day, that kind of a thing.
Right.
And Reg is her sounding board. So he's the one that says, okay, well that sounds like a little crazy. The theory. Let's back up a little bit. And so he works her through her ideas of. I enjoyed it. Again, not a typical guy kind of read. So, but for us, 3.5 Grey Geeks, because it's very good. Yeah. It's very good. Again, 99 cents for six books. This cozy books.
Yeah, it's the kind of you make yourself cozy on your sofa. You wrap yourself in a blanket,
exactly,
and you can read it.
And yeah,
in no time.
Yeah, each book is, like I said, 90 pages. So you could read it in 1.5 or 2 hours. That kind of a thing. Yeah. So the you should be able to go through this all in 1 week, if even pacing yourself. So that would be my first recommendation. Is from Tea Shop Cozy Mysteries. So
I've got to apologize.
You're gonna apologize?
I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna apologize to you. I'm gonna apologize to our wonderful viewers. Love you. My next isn't a recommendation. Okay.
I got 2 of those too.
Yeah, I really wanted to do 3 recommendations, but it's just one of those weeks where everything that I was doing it didn't pay off. I read in comics and read comics online. I went to on the genres and I look up mystery, and I came across a two-part trade paperback of called Moriarty. And it's supposed to be Professor Moriarty. What happened after the Rickenback Falls, right? And it started out pretty good. It's 20 years later. Moriarty has fallen on hard times. It seems that without Sherlock Holmes to give him impetus, he has no
slacked off.
He has nothing to live for. There's no challenge. There's no joie de vivre.
How dare that Sherlock Holmes die?
Yeah. So and so then he gets dragged into a mystery by MI5 by the newly. It's supposed to be 1914, so the newly created MI5. They drag him into a mystery to find the missing Mycroft Holmes, Sherlock Holmes' older brother. So this gives him it spurs him on. Up until that point, it's fine. It seemed like it was going to be moody. It's going to even though this should technically be the Edwardian era, it's still very Victorian, very goth. The artwork matches.
Gaslight.
Yeah, and but it suddenly turned into action and sword fights, and Moriarty's assistant is a female ninja called Jade, and then all of a sudden it turns out that the head of
they modernized it.
The head of MI5 is Dr. Watson. Totally out of character. The villain is this masked. I was extremely disappointed.
Yeah, that's weird. He's a husband now, and he's he's made sure that he's given that part of his life.
Watson, despite being a patriot and having been a soldier, is not the kind of guy that would run a secret intelligence service. Okay?
He's a medical doctor.
He's a medical doctor.
And a family man.
And he was the decent half of Holmes and Watson. Until they find him that he's the head of MI5 and the one who drags Moriarty into this investigation after his being responsible for the death of Sherlock. It just doesn't fit.
No.
It just doesn't fit. And so I forced myself to finish reading it. Now this is a 2-part trade paperback, so you know that each part was over 100 pages. And after I put it down, after I stopped, I said to myself, I am never going to get that time back. So,
and that's weird because usually when you're not happy about something, you just drop it.
But I was trying because I wanted to. I was looking for something to have for my get out of jail free, and in all honesty, Lou, I didn't think there would ever be a time when I would give something 0 grade.
Oh my God, 0.
0. I was that disappointed in it. 0. The lowest I'd ever done was Tomb Raider that I did. Half a Grey Geek. I'm sorry, but stay away. Stay away. If this should pop up on your screen or something, destroy your laptop. Honestly, the Moriarty trade paperback, it is not worth the trouble.
Star Trek Ishmael.
Oh my God!
All right, we're both huge Star Trek fans. Say Star Trek. Say Star Trek, and we get all giddy and happy and all that. Yeah. So, I read it, and this is a big week for me to read, I guess. Star Trek Ishmael is very similar.
Every time we lose power, it's a big week for you to read.
Yeah, so this is written by Barbara Hambly. I haven't read a lot of her stuff, but I think I've read another book that I also was not. This one more disappointing than the other. This is very similar in tone to The City on the Edge of Forever. So immediately you're saying, wait. I thought you said it sucked.
The City on the Edge of Forever
is
universally, it 9 times out of 10 it wins as favorite episode of the original series.
Yes. So it pales even more in comparison because it was written. That City on the Edge of Forever was written by Harlan Ellison. This story involves the Guardian of Time. So, basically the entire story is about Spock infiltrating the Klingons. He goes on their ship on a secretive mission, and he finds out some information. And when they go looking for him, he escapes through time back into Seattle in the late 1800s, 1890s.
So it had to be Earth, it had to be America, and it had to be the past.
Yeah. So again, very similar to City on the Edge Forever. So the first thing, as I'm reading it, I'm like, I've read this before. And so I keep reading it, and yes, it's basically a story about Spock going back in time, having lost his memory, so he doesn't remember that they know he's an alien because,
he's got ears.
He's got his ears are there, and the person, that saved him, saw him bleeding, green blood. So, but he hid him. He hid him away, developed a backstory for him and everything. And here I am. It's like, I want to love this book. I want to, but I can't, because I've read this story before, and this one
And it was better.
is poorly told and boring. So yeah, Star Trek Ishmael, I'm sorry to say, will receive 1 Grey Geek.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was very, again, exclusively disappointed. And so, even though we like to also give a lot of recommendations,
You can't recommend this one.
I can't recommend this one, other than for it to be a Star Trek novel. That's about it.
And there are a zillion of those. Okay, my last thing that I did to get out of jail free. I had shared with you in the previous Get Out of Jail Free that I had read the trade paperback Superman Batman Generations, written by John Byrne, in which Superman starts in 1939, tells the story of Superman and Batman, and then he jumps forward by 10 years. 1949 tells the story, and then 10 years, 1950, all the way to 1989, right? And he ages Superman and Batman normally, so that whatever age they are in 1939 and 1949, they're 10 years older, and then they're 20 years older, like that. But then he takes the time to write each story as if it was from that era in comics. So in 1959, for example, which sci-fi was even Batman stories were sci-fi. The Batman story is sci-fi, okay? Because he was doing it like from that era. Highly enjoyable, great. Then they did a sequel, Generations 2, which is what I'm covering today. Also good. And this time what he did was he did 11-year gaps, right? And it wasn't just Superman and Batman. This time he was including other characters from the DC universe. Okay, so we got to see this generation's take on, for example, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Flash, and that sort of thing. For example, Superman has a daughter with Lois Lane. Wonder Woman has a daughter with Steve Trevor. Barry Allen has a son, right? And then Batman has a son, and the four of them get together and they have an adventure. And you think they're going to form the Teen Titans? No, they form the Justice League, because they think of themselves as a junior justice society, but they don't like society because it says that it makes they picture old women sewing. So they like the idea of league better. So they call themselves the Justice League. And then later on, when you jump 11 years later, they're grown up and it's the Justice League. So it was interesting stuff like that, and I enjoyed Generations 2. They followed that up with Generations 3, which was a 12-issue miniseries, right? I recommend Generations 1, recommend Generations 2. I can't recommend Generations 3. Okay? Basically, it's an interesting story. John Byrne had a good idea, right? And incorporated in his Generations universe. But it's a time travel story. And he broke the cardinal rule for me when it comes to time travel stories. At the end, it never happened. Which means...
It was a dream.
In effect, in other words, at the end, they go back and fixed it so that it never happened, right? The world did not come to an end. It didn't. That I don't mind that so much because they do that in the Umbrella Academy. But at least the characters in the Umbrella Academy remember what happened. So if anything, they learn from that experience. In this one, nobody remembers a thing. So it did not happen. So you wasted my time.
Yeah, why read it?
I hate when they've done that in Star Trek. I hate when they've done that
in Dallas,
in Stargate. I hate when they do that. I don't mind. It's a legitimate idea that you go back and save the world by changing something. But somebody's got to remember. It's got to mean something. And if nobody remembers it, if it never happened, then it's meaningless. Nobody changed. Nobody grew. Nobody learned.
And why did you waste my time telling me this story?
So while I'm willing to give Generations 2 4 Grey Geeks, right? I've got a Generations 3. I'm giving it 1.
Wow.
1 Grey Geek.
This is my last one.
Hit me with it, baby.
Okay. The Beard and I normally have very similar tastes.
Oh, that one.
Well, that's the one I want to talk about. We have very similar tastes. We generally like the same things. Not always. I mean, we've had our differences.
And not always to the same degree.
Yeah.
I could really love something, and you could just really like it.
Yeah.
Right. And vice versa.
Yeah. So last week you gushed about the Umbrella Academy.
Right. The second season came out, and I binge watched.
Yes.
Which I never binge watched.
Uh-huh.
I binge watched it.
Okay. And so I know I am in the minority in this because I checked online, and it seems like almost everyone is in agreement with the Beard. They love the Umbrella Academy. I enjoyed the first season, but I didn't love it. And I was hoping that I would get to, love the characters. Because I'm very big into characterization. However, I hated the Umbrella Academy. All right. And, it's a surprise to him, I know, because of the fact that I liked the first season. And he said that the second season is better. In my estimation, these characters got worse. I mean, honestly, there's only one of the characters that can be said to have been altruistic. And the only one that was altruistic is Allison, number 3. Right? She's working for... They get...
They live back in time, 1962.
And 1962, 1963, 1961. And Allison begins to work, for the civil rights.
Well, maybe because she's black.
Yeah. But, I think she selflessly is doing this to try, and she's not using her superpowers at all. She has a family. I mean, she gets married. So again, like the only altruistic character. Everyone else, Luther, one of the characters is the number 1, and so his power is he has simian strength, and he is absolutely clueless, honestly. They play him as a dumb character, and it's like very one-dimensional. Diego, the character that I like the most, and his power is he's sharp weapons, and he guides them telepathically. Then you have number 4 is Klaus. He talks to dead people, but he doesn't do anything with it. He becomes a guru.
through no fault of his own.
He becomes a guru, and really, if you remember Necroscope, you remember the book Necroscope?
Yes.
The kid could the superpower of the main character. He can talk to the dead. and he gets the dead rise to help him. I mean, this power could be something major, and we don't see him use the power at all except to talk to his dead brother, number 5. And number 5, we know his superpower is like he can turn like into a monster, a giant monster, dragon / tentacle.
Tentacles.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then Vanya has no powers at all. And yet...
No, that first season.
And then
And it turns out that she does have powers. Her father was suppressing them because she's too powerful.
Yeah, it's just... I don't like these characters. Vanya, you would think that you would be sympathetic for her. But here in the second season, it's like... They don't do anything for her. And there are supposed to be moments where you're tender to her, and it's like you want to shake her. It's just... So yeah, I didn't enjoy the characters. The super bad is super bad. The handler is horrific. I forgot to mention number 5. He's a teleporter, and he's an assassin. It's like, aren't these supposed to be the good guys?
Well, yeah, but this is the 21st century. The Punisher is a good guy. Deadpool is a good guy.
Yeah, I didn't find them having any redeeming values at all.
Well, they did save the world in the first season.
Yes. And then they're cast back into... It's the time travel thing. It's the, I don't want to go into spoilers because, but Colm Feore is their father. And he's a jerk. It's just, I didn't find any redeeming value in it. I'm thinking that maybe I should read one of the comics or the book, something to amplify the story a little bit, because if this is what they are,
they're a dysfunctional family. Yeah, I said it from the beginning with the first season. I said this is the X-Men on crack, and that's the fun of it. That it's.
I didn't find that they had heart, Junior. I know you found that they had heart. I totally did not find the heart in this, because even Vanya, who I think is supposed to be the heart, didn't work for me. The climax, and I'm not going to say anything other than the climax. You would think you would have this huge fight scene, and they set it up like it was going to be a huge fight scene. It is anticlimactic. I was like, are you kidding me? Your chance to redeem at the end, and you do this. I was unhappy with it.
They did save the world again.
An hour and a half. 1 Grey Geek and a half is what I'm giving it. The half for Allison. Everything else, yuck. So yeah, I kind of am glad that we didn't watch it together, because I was like, I would have pissed on your parade. So I'm happy that didn't happen. So yes, 1.5 Grey Geeks, the Umbrella Academy, somewhere in between. I guess you had 4 Grey Geeks. Yeah, somewhere in between us is where most people will probably lie. But I think most people will lie closer to you.
Yes.
Because...
In fact, Netflix does a thing where they show they rate their shows, and it was the number 1 show in America at one point, The Umbrella Academy. When it came out, the week that it came out, it was the number 1 show.
That's not saying a lot. All right. We just want to say thank you for watching.
Take care of yourselves, people.
Yes.
It ain't over.
Yes.
It ain't over. Be careful.
Those words of wisdom.
Keep wearing that mask. Keep wearing those gloves. Keep social distancing. It ain't over. I don't care what anybody said. Don't listen to anybody. When it is over, we will tell you that it is over. Okay? It ain't over. Be careful. I mean this with all all sincerity, all
And
love.
Yes, we do care about you all.
Be careful.
So thank you for watching. My name is Louis Matos. I am the Mustache.
I'm Junior Figueroa. I beat the beard.
We say take it easy.
Hasta la vista.
See you later.
And peace.